Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to BBallBreakdown. I got two esteemed guests with me, and first we're going to talk to Devin Kharpertian, I think I got it, of TheBrooklynGame.com, and we're going to talk Nets real quick. So, tell us what the state of the Nets are. Are they going to be able to have a nice push into the playoffs and get a good seeding?
Yeah, I think, at this point it's really a matter of they're either going to be a third seed or a sixth seed. They're somewhere in that middle range right now. They played well under PJ Carlesimo, even though Carlesimo has certain issues, specifically in the second half of games. But yeah, I think they're kind of cruising at this point, and it's just a matter of whether they're going to play a 5 seed and get beaten by Miami in the second round, or have a shot at the conference finals if they end up third, or maybe even slide as far as sixth.
You didn't hear Jake, but he just pretty much disagreed with everything you said. So Jake, what do you feel about that prediction?
I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened in the Nets. They could go to the conference finals, play the Heat. They could get knocked out in the first round against almost any team. They haven't shown any sort of consistent level for with regards to offense, defense, anything this season. When you think they're going to reach a certain level, they don't reach it. When you think the bottom's going to fall out, it doesn't. So they're just unpredictable, and they might be built for the playoffs. Slow-paced team, scorers late in the shot clock, but nothing would surprise me with this team.
Tell me, is PJ as much of a yeller as he used to be?
Yes, unequivocally and absolutely. I think the players have really taken to him. He's got a kind of a sardonic tone, like they really kind of enjoy that. He's very different and very, I think Brook Lopez called him more blue than Avery Johnson as far as his language. But they seem to have responded to him. There's definitely a different energy level with him on the court, or with him on the sideline as opposed to Avery Johnson. And it's worked out so far. I think they're 20-11 now under PJ, which is a stark difference from when they were with Avery.
Jake, how did you react the first time that PJ yelled at you?
It was rough, but I was also laughing, as the players will tell you. You're not sure if he's being really mean or just making fun of you, so you have to really roll with it.
Right, because I didn't specify who he was yelling at when he's yelling, because it seems like he'll yell at anybody at any time. What do they have to work on? What's not working as well on the offensive side for the Nets that they can improve on? Jake?
I think they got to find a way to get Gerald Wallace to take more consistent, good shots, so they can have more of a core 4 on offense. They have the big 3, and they got to play well in the second half. They're a big first quarter team. They get Brook Lopez involved well. They get Joe Johnson involved late in the game, but they need to sort of round things out, and they need to hope that Darren Williams can continue his emergence.
And I know you disagree with most of that, so what do you want to challenge him on?
Well, I do think it's to some degree there's an offensive philosophy that they're just not running a lot of the time. I think Joe Johnson said earlier in the season that they run a lot of isolations, and that's not what their sets are. Like, they have a certain amount of sets. They do things in the first quarter that look starkly different from the third. They just kind of fall apart and they don't run what they know and run what they can trust. They try to get Brook Lopez more involved in pick and rolls, and that's kind of fallen off lately. I think Darren is taking better shots than in the first half of the season. I think you see, look at his percentages, and they've improved substantially, but he's also just taking smarter shots, and that's why his field goal percentage has increased. But I think it's just over the course of a game, over the course of 4 quarters, just trusting in their offensive system and running it throughout, and that's really where the consistency comes, and that's why they haven't had it.
I love Gerald Wallace. I don't know why he's taking a beating. I think he hustles, he plays really hard, he makes a lot of plays. Can someone explain to me why he doesn't seem to get as much love as he should?
He just needs to make more layups. That's kind of the thing at this point. He's not hitting those high percentage shots. He'll have games where he hits 2 or 3 3-pointers, which you're happy about, and then other games, 4 or 5 game stretches where he goes 1 for 5 from 3. And he does a lot of things on the court that you can't really measure in those kind of box score stats, and that's something that's definitely appreciated. But at the same time, there are things that you just have to do, to function efficiently in a basketball game, and part of that is just flat out scoring, and he's just not doing it at a level he's been accustomed to in his career.
Yeah, and do you agree with that?
Yeah, he's been a great locker room presence. He's the guy who says what needs to be said, but that's all. In a certain sense, that's given him a pass with a lot of the New York media, but he does need to step his game up in the playoffs if they're going to, guard the other team's best scorer and be as efficient as possible. Otherwise, the Nets can't reach their potential.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us on this great Nets breakdown. Don't forget, at BBallBreakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You guys in?
I'm in. Looks like I'm in.
All right, well, guys, now stop fighting. Stop.